If I told you I have a business and nothing about it, what would your first 3 guesses be? Maybe you'd say that I provide some sort of a service, or that I own factories, or maybe a shop of some sort, but never that I sit behind my desk all day making YouTube videos. Which is interesting because we all know you can make serious money with YouTube.
And I remember like the first month it was like 6 grand. The next month it was like 16 grand. This month it was like 60 grand. Like it just didn't stop, 6 figures.
But it's surprising that people still don't take making content as seriously as other businesses. Perhaps because they don't realize that YouTube is more of a business than they have ever imagined. Not just that, often the operations of creating these videos is so rarely talked about that you may not even realize what all it takes to actually make them. I'm Aadil and you're watching the Frontrunners show, where today we'll talk about the business and the behind the scenes of making YouTube videos. Dictionary defines business as the act of buying and selling goods or services as a means of livelihood. Ask your parents, neighbor, or a random person on the road, and it would perhaps take them at least a few dozen tries to guess that I had a business of making YouTube videos.
I don't know.
That's interesting, since we all know that making videos can make you serious cash, but maybe you don't know how serious. What if I told you that some of the most average YouTubers often earn thousands of dollars each year, and some even in the hundreds of thousands?
Tell me. So from January 1st of 2022 to June 30th of 2022, I made $3,667.03. And
just based off of their videos and the business behind them. You'd be surprised to know that these are not the creators with a heavy following, but creators with sub 100,000 subscribers. I'd even say that a YouTuber who's taking his job seriously for a few years has a higher probability of out-earning any other business that might be considered mainstream. You see, the simple act of making YouTube videos is far more complex than you can imagine. Even something as simple as sitting in front of the camera talking to a teleprompter involves hours of effort, both before and after recording. Each video you watch on YouTube most likely goes through 3 significant steps: scripting, production, and post-production. Much like a business that has multiple moving parts, is run by a group of motivated and driven people to keep it running, making a YouTube video is no different. Each part having potential for revenue and money moving in and out of it to eventually lead into the business. Let's just take a look at this 15-minute video from Johnny Harris about the McDonald's ice cream machine always being broken.
Okay, so I've been investigating something for a long time.
Which, by the way, I don't know what Johnny's talking about. I have that like every day. But that 15 minutes probably took him at least 5 to 7 hours just to script, given the intensity of his research. There are times when he refers to the ice cream machine's user manuals, which just thinking about trying to find it online gives me a headache. But after scripting, he would have had to collect all the pictures, plan and schedule the interviews with the relevant experts, sift through hundreds of sources to ensure that the information he's providing is accurate and in fact true. Then there's the post-production, the shooting itself, selecting appropriate stock footage, the travel involved, going to the physical locations, all to give the story the extra oomph it needs. Then comes the final process of putting it all together in post, ensuring that the story is engaging, informative, and not too boring for the average YouTube viewer. There's a thin line between being entertaining and giving too much information that Johnny has to tiptoe around to ensure that the video appeals to as many people as possible, which it did with just under 11 million views. The thing is, from the outside, it might seem like all this is done by Johnny or other creators themselves, but after a point, the operation ceases to be scalable if they are doing everything themselves. This is where the true business of creators begins. In today's day and age, it's quite common to find creators hiring agencies or building in-house teams specific to YouTube to do their research and scripting. The very popular and thought-provoking channel Soch by Mohak Mangal has a team of at least 9 other creators working part or full-time with the channel to work on research, scripting, editing, and post-production.
I think like my team has just played such an important role to grow the channel and to just produce videos, क्योंकि कई बार मेरे पास time इतनी होता. The researchers, the editors, community managers, subtitlers, they are running with the channel.
Put another way, Mohak, with his 1.4 million subscriber based channel, is able to keep what seems to be just shy of a dozen people on his payroll in some capacity to keep putting out one video a week. Now, Johnny and Mohak are journalistic type channels, clearly requiring extensive research and post-production. But what if we look at another creator, arguably a juggernaut in a completely different genre, MrBeast. Now, Jimmy has been quite open about how he keeps his operation afloat, reinvesting all of his money made from one video to make the next one even bigger.
For the last like 8 or 9 years, like every dollar I've made, I just spent it the next month on content. And I just did that every single month, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and here we are.
In a recent video with Mr. Who's the Boss, Jimmy revealed his massive $10 million studio, although warehouse at this point would probably be a better term for it.
What is the actual cost of the buildings themselves?
Oh boy. The big studio over there was a little over $10 million.
In his podcast with Joe Rogan, he even said that he has over 100 people working for him to make his videos a reality. The thing is, Jimmy's smartest moves are often unnoticed since they're made off the screen. Recently, he figured out that he could simply dub his videos in other languages to increase the reach of his content.
I opened up the world's first free restaurant. And if that
para que comieran en mi restaurante. Todavía no hemos ni
Have you seen our dub channels? Can you pull that up? Just search MrBeast in Espanol. So we actually do our videos in other languages as well. So these are the exact same videos on my main channel, but we pay voice actors to dub over them. We translate the text in the video, everything.
MrBeast in Espanol.
Yeah, that was actually one of the fastest growing channels last year.
In doing so, he most likely opened up an entirely new business arena for creators with the resources to dub existing videos into other languages, not just for themselves, but even others as a service. Now, I know what you might say, Aadil, all the creators you just mentioned have a massive following. Of course, their videos are a business and make them tons of money. I agree. So let's look at another example to take home the point that making videos is closer to a business than it is fun. Let's look at me. If you're new here, I'm Aadil. This is my second episode making the Frontrunners show for the 1000 Faces Club. Many of you may not know me, but I have my own channel where I also make videos while doing other creator related freelancing as well. Since making videos for myself and others is almost my full-time job, trust me when I say that it's a proper business. Take something as simple as a camera. In today's times, considering these video essays that I'm making, I can't afford to shoot with a low quality camera. Looking at how mobile screens keep on upgrading with each new model, low video quality can be an immediate turn off to your audience, especially if you're starting out. Some say that audio is arguably more important than video. I'm just going to record this with my mic and then without. Imagine the whole video with this type of audio. I guarantee you can't. Now, just to use that camera and mic, you need tripods, mic stands, professional recorders, and decent lighting. Now, sure, you can say that I don't need any of these things for making videos, but that's the same as saying that you don't need Google Pay to pay for stuff, but it sure is a game changer. Like I said, my videos are my business, and the equipment I use is an investment to give it the best shot to succeed. Your audio video equipment is still just the surface level investment that goes into making videos. Then comes the software subscriptions, storage space, having your own website, handling merch if you have some, handling clients or you're freelancing, not to mention other social media handles for your brand, and also all the finances that go in them. This all takes up a significant amount of effort, time, and not to mention money to keep a creator's business up and running. Now, storage for all of this footage and data, another thing that's not talked about enough. Constant improvement in mobile screens for better viewing experience means constant improvement in the cameras used to shoot those videos, means bigger and beefier video files that need some place to be saved. So the same 1 minute file 2 years ago would seem tiny against a file in 4 or 8K resolution that's used today. Just for some perspective, a 15-second time lapse we all love from Casey's vlogs would conservatively be footage that's sped up 8 to 1200%, meaning that 15 seconds was actually a 3-minute clip. That's not so bad, except he probably had to take that shot for 15 minutes to get the right 3 minutes. A 15-minute 4K file is about 11 gigabytes. So assuming Casey shot 25 minutes worth of footage for his 10-minute vlog, which is very, very conservative, that itself would be at least 20 gigabytes worth of footage. 600 days of daily vlogging, 20 gigabytes of footage per day means 12,000 gigabytes of footage. And did I mention that's very conservative? Now, just for context, a 12 terabyte hard disk costs 23,000 rupees after discount. A 12 terabyte solid state drive costs 45,000 rupees after discount, just for reference. So even something simple as space is a serious investment when it comes to making YouTube videos. Now, this is still just the tip of the YouTube business iceberg, and I haven't even gotten to the fact that most creators freelance, consult on short-term projects, have their own physical studio space, their own team, and not to mention tax implications from getting brand deals and free stuff and traveling all the time. So the next time you hear someone brush off being a YouTuber or a creator as easy and incomparable to owning a mainstream business, show them this video, because it's an understatement to say that creating videos is a proper business. That's it for this episode, guys. I hope you like this deep dive into the business of being a YouTuber and behind the scenes of what it takes to make a video. I'm Aadil Verma, your host for the show, and we'll be running through more such deep dives every Sunday around the creator economy. Make sure you subscribe to the 1000 Faces Club YouTube channel to not miss out on any of the episodes. I shall see you in the next one. Peace.